Here we are. It's another Dueling Excel podcast. Great question sent in by Gary this time. Gary's interested in using the analysis tool pack, the descriptive statistics feature. That's not what the podcast is about. He says, hey, look, that feature requires my set of numbers to be either one row or one column. Having it in a rectangular range does not work. So how can I take this data, copy the data, and paste special unwind it, basically is what he wants to do, either into a single row, single column, or a single row. All right, so I'm going to throw this one over to Mike first and see what solution Mike has, and we'll come back. I'll show you a macro solution. Mike?
Hey, thanks, Mr. Excel. Hey, is this a great question or what? You know, I teach and I get textbooks, statistics textbooks, even worse, Excel textbooks. And the students are given blocks of data like this. You can't do a lot of the great data analysis features in Excel with data like this. You need it in a column or a row. Now, I want to show you a couple things first before I show you my trick. Under data, there's the data analysis, and this has some great statistical tools in it. You got to go to the Office button and down to Options here. The keyboard shortcut for that is Alt-Fi. Great keyboard shortcut because there's lots of great tricks in the Excel options. You come down to Add-ins, and down here you select that add-in and click Go. And there it is, Analysis Tool Pack. And then that will show that right there in 2007. In earlier versions, it'll not only give you the data analysis feature, but it will also add some extra functions for you. I'm going to click OK. Now, I also got to show you on the home ribbon the clipboard, because the trick I'm going to show you involves the clipboard. Now, in earlier versions, you could Control CC and open up the clipboard. It would copy it and open up the clipboard. I better clear all here. Clear all. Now, down here, clipboard under options. There it is. So you can use the keyboard shortcut from earlier versions, but you got to check this. Control CC to show the Office clipboard. Now, I'm going to close this and start the trick here. Here, I have my cursor right there. I'm going to Control Shift down arrow and then Control CC. That opens it up. The active cell is right there. I'm going to right arrow. And now I want to Control Shift down arrow, Control C. Right arrow, Control Shift down arrow, Control C, right arrow, Control Shift down arrow, and Control C. No way, because I had the clipboard open, it collected it there. And here's the easy way to do this, except for if you know VBA. Paste all. Boop, just like that, it pastes it all in a column. Now I'm going to come up to the top, Control up arrow, and type sales or whatever the label is. And now let's go ahead and try that data analysis right there. Boop. And there's great data analysis statistics. I'm just going to do the descriptive statistics. Click OK. Now I got the range right. I have checked this for labels in first row. I've checked all of these because I want summary statistics, largest, smallest. And then I simply click OK. Boop. And just like that, it will insert a sheet. And I'm going to put S for stats. And there you have it, nice quick way. And because we have our data in a column. Now I'm going to throw this back to Mr. Excel, and we'll get to learn some VBA.
Nice, Mike. That clipboard trick, really cool. You know, I'm a VBA guy. I'm just going to switch over to VBA here and solve this with a few lines of code. Insert a module. I'll call it sub unwind selection. I'm going to set up a couple of variables here. Dim out cell as range, counter is equal to 0. I'm going to define the out cell as being 2 columns to the right of the range. So set out cell. We have to use set because it is a object variable equal to selection dot cells 1, 1. In other words, go to the top right hand corner of the selection dot offset 0 rows down, and then selection dot columns dot count plus 2. That's going to get me outside of the cell. And then from here, it's just 3 simple lines of code for each cell in selection. Outcell dot offset counter comma 0 dot value is equal to cell dot value. Counter equals counter plus 1. And then next cell. All right, we're going to test it. I'm first going to go into macros and find unwind selection. Click on options and assign it to a shortcut key, Control Shift U. So I press Shift U there, and we'll select these cells and Control Shift U, and there we are, our entire set of numbers. Let's just do a quick test to make sure we got them all. Here, the quick sum says 43117, and here the quick sum 43117. Set that up in your personal macro workbook, and then you'll have Control-Shift-U available to you all the time. Of course, you need to be careful that the data to the right of your selection is not filled. This is just going to blindly overwrite it. All right, hey, I want to thank you for stopping by. On behalf of Mike and myself, we appreciate you watching these dueling Excel podcasts. We'll catch you next time.